think being busy is the same thing as being productive? I want you to think again. What if I told you that in most companies, a massive chunk of what happens every day, moving things around, waiting for approvals, sitting on inventory, is just pure waste? A lot of the time, we're just shuffling trash around. Today, we're going to learn how to spot that waste and start looking at our work through the only eyes that actually matter, the customers.
So let's just ask the tough question right up front. Take a hard look at your team, at your own to-do list for the day. Is all that activity, all that running around, all that busyness, is it actually creating something that a customer would be happy to pay for? Or is it just the illusion of work? Honestly, the answer to that question changes absolutely everything.
Okay, let's lock in the single most important rule right now. This is the foundation for everything else we're about to cover. See, value isn't defined by your boss, or the process manual, or how hard you're working. It's defined by one person and one person only, the customer. If they are willing to pay for an activity because it physically transforms the product or service into what they want, it has value. And if not, it's waste. It's really that simple. So to start separating the valuable work from all the noise, we need a new way to see our process. It turns out, every single thing we do at work can be sorted into one of just 3 categories. And trust me, once you learn to see your process through this lens, you will never be able to unsee the waste again.
Here they are. First up, you have your value-add activities. This is the good stuff, right? This is the actual work that changes the product into something the customer wants. Our goal here is simple. Protect these steps and make them as efficient as possible. Second, we've got business non-value add. Think of things like HR paperwork or internal financial reports. Yeah, the business has to do it, but the customer couldn't care less. So our goal is to reduce and simplify it. And finally, you have the big one, non-value add. This is pure 100% waste. Things like rework, unnecessary movement, just waiting around. The mission here is crystal clear. Eliminate it completely.
Now, you might be thinking, okay, I get it, there's some waste, but here's the part that should really shock you. When you actually go out and analyze a typical process, this is what you find. A tiny little sliver, maybe 5%, is actual value-add work. The vast majority of time is spent on stuff that's either just for the business or even worse, is complete and total waste. This is the reality that's hiding inside our busy schedules.
The Japanese term for all this waste is muda. And in the world of lean, we don't just talk about waste as some abstract idea. Oh no. We give it a name. We give it a face. In fact, we give it 7 faces. These are the hidden killers of productivity, and they are lurking in every single process in every company.
And to help us remember them, there's a fantastic little acronym, TIM Wood. T is for transportation, moving materials or information around more than you have to. I is for inventory, piles of stuff sitting around that you don't need right now. M is for motion, people walking, reaching, bending more than necessary. W is for waiting. Any idle time is pure waste. O is for overproduction, making too much too soon. The second O is for overprocessing, doing more work than the customer actually values. And finally, D is for defects, any time you have to do something over again. This is your official hit list.
Let's just zoom in on overprocessing for a second, because this one is so common and sneaky. Just think about it this way. A customer wants a simple napkin to wipe their mouth. If you spend time and money embossing it with some fancy pattern they never even asked for, that's not high quality, that's waste. You just put more resources into it than the customer actually values.
And then there's waiting. Ugh, this is the silent killer of productivity. Every single minute an employee is waiting for a part, or waiting for a signature, or just waiting for a system to respond. That's 100% waste. It adds absolutely nothing but cost and delay to the process. And you know what? It's not just inefficient, it's completely demoralizing for your team.
All right, so we know waste is everywhere. But how in the world do we find it? How do we take this invisible waste stream that's flowing through our company and make it visible so we can actually attack it? Well, there's an incredibly powerful tool designed for exactly that.
It's called Value Stream Mapping, or a VSM. Now, don't let the name intimidate you. At its core, a VSM is a really simple but profound idea. It's basically a pencil and paper way to draw a picture of your entire process, from the very first request all the way to the final delivery to the customer. It's designed to capture the flow of materials, information, people, and, most importantly, time.
Let's look at a real-world example so you can see what I mean. This right here is a value stream map for a new loan application process. You can literally see every major step laid out, from opening the mail to data entry, credit checks, all the way through to issuing the actual loan,
Each step has data underneath it, but the most important numbers are the ones that tell the story of time.
And this is the moment that changes everything. When you add it all up, the total hands-on work, the actual processing time where someone is doing something of value, is just 1 hour and 8 minutes. But the total time it takes for that application to get through the entire system, 29 days and 20 hours. Just let that sink in for a second. 1 hour of value-add work is trapped inside almost 30 days of waiting. 29 days. The huge gap between that 1 hour of work and those 29 days, that, my friends, is the waste. That's the application sitting in people's inboxes, waiting in queues, sitting in piles. This is the massive aha moment that value stream mapping gives you. It makes that invisible river of waste completely impossible to ignore.
So once you see the waste, you really can't unsee it. And this is where we get to pivot from just seeing the problem to actually fixing it. Now we can shift our focus away from just managing busyness to something far more powerful, managing the flow of value to the customer.
And the way we do that is by following 5 core principles of lean thinking. It's a really logical progression. First, you define value from the customer's point of view. We already talked about that. Second, you map the value stream to see the waste, just like we saw with that loan application. From there, you work to create flow, which is all about smoothing out the process to kill those delays. Fourth, you establish pull, which just means you only do work when the customer actually asks for it. And finally, you seek perfection. This isn't a one-and-done fix. It's a journey of continuous, relentless improvement.
And that really brings us to the most important takeaway of all. The true goal of a lean process isn't to make people sweat more or run around faster. It's not about being busy. It's about being effective. It's about having a relentless, almost surgical focus on eliminating the work that doesn't matter, so that we can protect and improve the work that does. So the question I want to leave you with is this: what waste are you going to go eliminate tomorrow?